I will turn you over to Chair Olivas.
And Director Harness, could you please remind our guest here what the time limit is here on the presentation?
Chair Olivas, yes, each complainant in a case being reviewed by the board at a particular board meeting is afforded 5 minutes to address the board prior to their making a ruling.
Thank you, Director Harness. With that being said, I'll go ahead and give the floor over to you, Mr. Jacobs and Mrs. Jacobs. You have 5 minutes. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Yes, hi. Thank you for having us here today. We're not sure exactly what you're voting on. I mean, we wrote a letter to the Inspector General and with the timeline and photos, and this is a huge scope of crime that was committed in our home, and we're not sure exactly if the board saw everything. The letter, the timeline, the scope of this, there's 17 people involved. So we're just not sure what the board is seeing. Can we
ask that question?
I guess I'm not going to answer.
No? Okay.
No, okay.
All right.
Okay, well, we started writing to the Inspector General because we were just humbly seeking, we're so frustrated, and we were just humbly seeking some help as to what to do, because if you've seen the timeline and the number of calls and to the different departments and the runaround and the false reports, and we were just so frustrated. Brief background: I've been in law enforcement for over 25 years, post-certified, which is police trained, worked with the U.S. Marshals, run a private security company, and so forth, and certainly familiar with reports and protocols and things of departments and law enforcement. And my husband,
I've been a photojournalist for 53 years. I am a veteran. I was in the combat camera group in the Navy during Vietnam, and have had experiences all over the world with law enforcement. And what we went through here with the APD is second to none. And that's why we're here.
This probably most likely could be the largest theft experience in the city of Albuquerque. Our entire house was gutted. I hope you saw some of the pictures. Basically, everything was stolen or thrown away or burned or destroyed. And 17 people were living here in the home, and
we were away.
And they were selling. Had garage sales set up in our garage, selling our items, and told our neighbors we were dead. And it was just horrific. But even worse when we came home. And I do want to, if you know the reason we were gone, we were falsely accused of some issues, and it was later found out we were victims. And that's a whole other long story, but that really doesn't matter. But because of that, we felt that the police was just totally indifferent. They blatantly, treated us horribly, and we're just very confused at why. And we never really could get an answer about what your department could do. We want to press charges. There were 17 people, that did horrific crimes. The firearms were stolen.
Forgery.
Checks
They forged every check that we had, and they stole all the money out of our business account.
But basically everything out of our home too. There was more value out of our home. Everything you've owned for your lifetime.
Well, just to say that it's also about my photography. I have my photographs here, and they are worth a lot of money and much more than can be recovered. So it's unfortunate. I would like to just read the names of the officers who were involved in this. That is Officer Jonathan Camp, Officer Jose Sanchez, Officer Rene Rival, Sergeant Jason, Officer Sam Pong, Detective Stephanie Lopez, Officer Miera, Assistant Administrative Assistant Bernice with Southwest Division, Sergeant Hilder, Sergeant Jason Westbrook, Rochelle with the Police Chief Office, Commander Burke, Annabelle, John Ross, David White, Taylor Wicken, Tamara, Sergeant Valdez, Sergeant Bernard, and Detective Wilsey.
But the main thing is we're not sure what you guys have the power to do. I mean, if the case can be reopened, mainly we want
some justice.
Some justice. One officer told us, "Oh, they can only reprimand. Your department can only reprimand officers if they found they did wrong or negligent or indifferent or whatever."
Mr. and Mrs. Jacobs, I'd like to ask you to wrap up your thought there.
Right. Yeah,
Right.
I was just finishing. I don't know if you can reopen the case. That's our goal, is to try to get some in the interest of justice, because, or if it's just to reprimand the officers, which some of them aren't even there anymore. So,
Okay. Thank you very much for your time, and thank you for coming before us and helping to explain your case to the board. You should receive a findings letter if it's approved after this meeting here. You should receive a findings letter in the mail, and that should explain more as to what the findings of the board are and what your recourse is after receiving that. So thank you again for coming, and thank you for sharing your story. Thank you. So this is case 210-20, item E, exonerated, not sustained, and administratively closed. Do we have a motion to accept the findings of this letter?
So moved. Second.
We have a motion and a second. Do we have any discussion or debate on this case?
I had a question. This is Member Nixon, and perhaps one of the board members can kind of clarify this. Is there a statute of limitations on this process? I know it spanned over several years, but as far as a complaint is concerned, are they still within the time frame?
Director Ernest?
Chair Olivas, Member Nixon, there is no statute of limitations for filing a complaint with the CPOA agency.
Thank you. That's all I had.
Thank you, Member Nixon. This is Chair Olivas. Is there any other discussion on this item? Seeing none, Ms. Varela, would you please call the roll on the motion to accept the findings of case 210-20?
Sure. Member Armijo Pruitt?
Yes.
Member Galloway?
Yes.
Member Dr. Cass?
Yes.
Member Nixon?
Yes.
Member Olivas?
Yes.
That motion passed 5-0.
Thank you.